It is actually the morning of January 18th, 2025 at 1:07 a.m. But I'm considering this the video of the 17th. I was preoccupied with playing some games with friends, and yeah. It has been 10 days since Cookie was put to sleep. She's been very indecisive. Yeah. And so, early we got Cookie May 7th, 2022, at 8 weeks old. And early in his life with us, he was diagnosed with a heart murmur. In December, we found Cookie, December 2024, I found Cookie laying under the Christmas tree. He had lost weight, he was lethargic, yellowing, pale gums, wouldn't eat, wouldn't purr, wouldn't meow. Next day we rushed him to an ER. Basically every medical value he could have, red blood cells, I think it's bilirubin, etc. They were all terrible. It was a miracle he was alive. They started him on 0.4 milliliters of doxycycline and 5 milligrams of prednisolone, both twice a day every 12 hours. For the next 5 weeks, Cookie got better. He got back to his happy old self. He was purring away. He was super snuggly. He was happy. On January 7th, he went for his checkup appointment at his vet with my dad. Their only concern was his CBC, his, I think, collective blood cell count. Wasn't as high as they wanted. They wanted it was 26% and they wanted it at 30%, so they weren't sure why. He hadn't recovered as much as he should have. And they wanted to do tests for vector-borne illnesses, like something transmitted by the flea problem we had. Could have been a culprit. A couple hours later, maybe like an hour later, he came home from his appointment. A few hours later, I woke up, left the house at 12:20 p.m., gave him a quick pet, quick kiss, and I said, all right, Cookie, I love you. I'll be back. 3:50 p.m., I get back home, and he's sitting on my brother's bed. His chest is rapidly rising and falling. He has his mouth open, which means a cat can't breathe properly. And so he gets rushed to another vet, where they find one of two problems. Either he has heart disease and he's in heart failure, or he has a blood clot that moved to his lungs. They told us it was Evans syndrome and heart failure brought about by what was likely a weak heart mixed with a medication that caused it to happen. So I made the hardest choice of my life on January 7th, 2025 at 8 p.m. for Cookie to be put to sleep. A few days ago, I was able to talk to his vet, his primary care, where she had all the results from the ER we took him to, and she said, yeah, it was either heart disease or was the blood clot. She said if it was the blood clot, or if there was a blood clot, there's no telling now, that there was nothing anyone could do, that he would pass anyway. She said if it was heart disease, then optimistic outlook is a year, usually just a couple of months, where he would have to be on several medications with constant checkups, and from my own research, it looked like maybe even fluid drains from his lungs. There was no guarantee it would even work. So there was really just, in the end, nothing that could have been done. My sweet little boy just got dealt a really shitty hand. And ultimately, there was nothing I could do to save him. No choice I could have made. She even said that cats with heart disease she had seen, they're not really happy. They're significantly less happy. So I'm gonna take that as she was politely putting it as they're miserable and suffering. So it does make me feel better that knowing that putting him to sleep was ultimately the right choice, even if it was one I wish I never had to make. Because at the very least, if you think about it, there's no guarantee that if it was a blood clot, there was nothing I could do in the first place. He would have just been suffering until I just got told, yeah, nothing we can do. Think about how long that might have taken. He could have been there overnight, struggling to breathe for 12 hours, and just to be told, that's it. You know, those heart disease, maybe he would have gotten an extra year. No guarantee. He was already on the other meds, and then all the other meds he would have to take and the checkups, and who knows, maybe he could have ended up just passing away the next week after starting treatment. Even then, he would have been miserable the whole time. At least by making the choice to put him to sleep, I could guarantee I'd be there. I don't know what I would have done if I had started treatment on heart disease and he just passed away a week later anyway and I wasn't even home. Knowing that he would have been choking on his own, on viscous fluid in his lungs and struggling to breathe and unhappy. And I'm glad I made that choice because I know I didn't make him suffer. I'll be honest, last night was rough. I got caught in a spiral of just thinking about all the things I wish I had done. That I wish I pet him more the night before he went, that I brought him to bed that night. I'm thinking about all the previous nights where he woke me up because he just wanted to lay with me and cuddle. That's all he wanted. He would nuzzle his face into mine and meow at me until I woke up. And he was purring away. And all he wanted was just a snuggle. And I would just say, Cookie, I'm trying to sleep. Please stop. And I would chuck him, not like football, like hurl him. I would just pick him up and gently move him to the other side of my bed, and I'd keep trying to sleep, and I just wish I didn't do that at any point. Because now I find myself just wanting to be woken up by him. Hoping that I'll feel that little face nuzzling into mine, and that little meow. And his also happy purrs when he realizes I'm awake and looking at him. It's hard. As for Jinxie, I'm not grieving her as much. I know she got to live a full life. I know she got to see everything. We got to give her all the love we could. That she truly probably have been suffering for quite some time. That she had kittens who probably have also had kittens, and she just got the full experience of life. And I wasn't that close with her. She was more so my dad's cat. I saw her every now and then. As I am being an adult living at home, pretty much always in here in my room. So I never really saw her. Which is also why I don't have many pictures of her, which that sucks. I did get some before she went, some photos and videos of her, but it's not Jinxie in her prime. She has all that blood on her and everything. It's just a reminder of what she went through. So I'm not grieving her as much as, my sweet little boy who I tried so desperately to save. Who always hung out with me, was always in here, and every single day I got to snuggle him. and he didn't get to experience life. He was alive for about 2 years and 10 months. That's all he got. Unlike Jinxie, who had, about 13 or more. So Cookie's loss is so much harder on me. And I don't know if I'll ever get over it. People say that, you never get over it. That it just becomes easier to manage. I guess that makes sense. I'm not breaking down at every single thought of Cookie, but it's still heartbreaking to think about that he's not here. I wish he was. My mom was talking to me about some cats that someone, I guess she knows, either she knows them or she's heard about them. They got some new cats. They actually have a boy over there. He's a tuxedo cat, I think, and his name is Jin. He's about 2 years old. Which, hey, that's fitting. Hi, Posy. The only problem with Jin is he's FIV positive. And I hear that's really only transmissible by like scratches and bites, but it's What's up? Sweet kitty. Look us a film. So, my main concern with him being FIV positive is, although it's not as easily transmissible as other things like feline leukemia. I know Lucy, when she gets agitated, she swipes and scratches and hisses. Especially at this one, right here. Lucy doesn't really like the other cats. And of course, Jin, the idea of getting Jin would be for him to be with me. So I'd be worried about Lucy potentially scratching him bad enough. Or although I've heard Jin is a very sweet cat, I'd be worried about what if he starts fighting back and scratches her pretty bad. Same with Zumi, the other cat that kind of roams outside because that's technically my mom's cat. So she roams the house. I'd be worried about them getting into a fight and I don't know, I just don't want that to spread. For context, I keep Lucy in my room only because she's too nervous of the other cats. Just them being near her causes her to like recoil and like lay back and growl and hiss, and she's like paralyzed with fear and won't move off tables or chairs if they're nearby. She's just petrified, so I've kept her in here and those cats out so she can have some peace. The other one I let in is this one. My other little snuggle bug. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Poopsie? Just look at her. I wonder if you can hear her purring. I think Jin's very cute. From what I heard, he had a really, really rough start. I guess they found him as a stray. Someone had completely shaved him, and they cut his whiskers, and they cut his nails so short they thought he was declawed. I don't know what kind of sick fucking monster does that to a cat, but there's a special place in the worst of afterlives for them. Genuine serial killer behavior to do that to an animal. No animal deserves that kind of treatment. You don't deserve love. Except mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, no. I understand. If you're torturing mosquitoes, I get it. All my homies hate mosquitoes. Yeah, that's how things have gone. The spot where Jinxie used to sit in the dining room's already gone. No, I guess it makes sense. She left so much blood there, it had to all be cleaned up. It's weird because my mom is pretty neutral on most of the cats, but even she was getting caught up in the whole thinking she sees Jinxie, but realizing she's just not there. Which I admit is with how I am with Cookie and Jinxie. I go into the dining room where Jinxie liked to be, and I turn the lights, and I just expect her there, and I don't see her. Or I look around the room, and I expect Cookie. Or I wake up, and I expect him to be there. And you know he's not. Because he's gone. And it hurts. Having Posey, that helps. Beforehand, I wasn't letting her in at all, to spare Lucy some stress, and because she wasn't getting along well with Cookie. But, having her here as a little bit of comfort and purring away helps. And it's nice to have someone who wants to sit on my lap. Lucy's not much of a lap cat. She's more of a sit on the desk and hang out kind of cat. And lately she doesn't want to. She's been mostly laying in bed, and I wonder it's just like a lingering thing from her being so used to Cookie being on my lap, so she didn't want to be near me. I don't know, Lucy concerns me. I plan to talk to the vet about anything I can do to help with her stress and her anxiety. Because she's a very stressed out kitty, and I don't want her to damage her heart or to have anything bad happen to her because of it. Because I love my Lucy. It's just my main worry is she doesn't like any of the cats here, so I'm worried my only option may be to either move out, which I barely have $10. Yeah, this housing market, ooh, that would never happen. Or, to find her a new home, and I would hate to find her a new home because I love her so much, but if it would be the only solution to prolonging her life and making her environment stress-free, I'd do it. It's more important to me that she's happy, even if it would make me sad. I dedicate the last of this video to Cookie as a message. Hi, Cookie. Hi, Minnie Moo. I'm petting your half-sister right now, Posey. I'm not sure why she wasn't so fond of you in those 5 weeks of treatment. My theory is that cats are pretty good with their senses, so she likely smelled whatever mystery disease you have that we still haven't figured out, and it scared her. That's my only thought. I've been missing you lots. I've been looking at photos and videos of you, just remembering what it's like when you were here. I wish you still were. I wish I had pet you that night. I wish I brought you to bed that night. And I really, really wish I didn't have to put you to sleep. But knowing what I know now, all the other options would have just made you suffer. And I also wish that all those times you woke me up for snuggles that I didn't push you away. I should have just rolled over onto my side and had you lay with me and pet you until we both fell asleep. Because I missed the mornings waking up next to you. It was always nice waking up and seeing you curled up beside me, where I can give you a little kiss and say good morning, Cookie, and you would purr right away. Because you were the sweetest boy. By far the sweetest cat I have ever met in my life, and probably ever will. I hope the afterlife is treating you well. I hope you found Jinxie and the two of you are enjoying it together. I hope you have everything you could ever need and want. Someday, when I cross over, I look forward to reuniting with you two. And I look forward to snuggling my little mini-moo for all eternity. But until then, I hope you enjoy journeying with life through me. We'll see the world together until it's my time. Just like we planned to when you were still here. I'll make sure to take your urn wherever I move and live until the end, where we're buried together, to be reunited in finality. There's always going to be a place for you, a place in my heart, my mind, my body, my soul, in my life, in my world, in my home, in my bed. I love you to the moon and back. I love you 3000. I love you with all those cheesy lines and sayings and phrases and more. I miss you, Minnie Moo. I love you with all of my heart and everything that I am and ever will be and ever happened, Cookie. I love you, Cookie.